And hello everyone, I have repaired sails before, and while the repair lasted a long time, it seemed that the area was always a bit looser than before. The tape would slide off and water would get in. In this video, I'm going to show how I went about repairing my sail and the long-term results. The first thing to do is remove tension on the sail, at the outhaul, the downhaul. In my case, I left the mast in, but I recommend taking it out just to be sure that the sail is free of any tension. It's also important to loosen the batten nearest the repair. We may need to push in and out to get it to slide out. In this repair, when I hold the sail flat, there's a slight overlap around the tear area. Prior to this repair, I used temporary duct tape without overlapping. This resulted in unwanted waves and wrinkles down below. So this time I'm hoping that the overlap helps get rid of them. Before going into the repair, I try to visualize how to hold the sail down so that it remains flat while applying the tape and preserving the natural shape of the sail. Despite the fact that tension was released, the sail shape may still wrinkle up, creating unwanted waves in the material. Next, we want to make sure that there are no remaining little pieces of thread sticking out, to make a cleaner area for the tape to stick. These are really tough strings, and I used heavy-duty scissors with small teeth, which made it easier. The strings that were not torn were left as is, as they may still help the overall structure of the sail. To hold the entire panel flat, I'm going to sit on the lower part of the sail and slightly push up with my feet on the batten so that the bottom section is flat as well. It looks like I'll need to pull to the side here so that the sail stays flat in this area. Now I'm ready to apply temporary tape over the area, which will set the sail material exactly how I want it at the end of the repair. When I'm happy with the way it looks, I pre-tape the area to hold the wanted alignment in place. We don't want any gaps or waves around the extremities of the repair. Here I pull to the side to get this area of the sail as flat as possible before applying the tape. The order of installation of the temporary pieces is the same as the order I will use in the final repair. Now the sail looks tight and uniform with no more waves or wrinkles. With the sail flipped over, I can now trim the extra strings and threads from this side. From here, I'm going to speed up certain parts of the video so that you can still get the full detail of the repair. Before we tape, we need to clean the area. If it's been taped before, I use oil, which is great at removing glue. Then I wipe the excess and use a small amount of soap. And finally, alcohol. If you use paper towel, be sure to remove any lint left behind. The sharp edges of the sail will shred the paper. Now the sail is ready for its final taping job. The tape I use is waterproof, quite thick, and very sticky. There are several versions of the tape, so be sure to go on my website, whose link is in the video description below. You may also simply Google Manu's Windsurfing blog. In the tips and tricks section, you will find links to other products I use. The tape has a slight stretch, which I think may prevent it from drying out in the long run. The best part is, it's inexpensive too. The tape will have its greatest holding power when it's centered over the tear. I try to visualize how to cut the tape so that it covers the most sail material as possible. Basically, trying to have the largest pieces on first before applying the smaller ones. I press from the center out to avoid bubbles and get the greatest grip. However, the tape is quite tolerant to imperfections that will disappear over time, and you'll see in the final results. As the tear comes quite close to the batten pocket, I cut the tape a little bit longer so that it can reach the farthest up in there. Then I lift up on the white stripe and tuck the tape under. By bringing the tape up from the sides and cutting it at an angle, I get the most holding power. Then the tape following the batten pocket will need to cover a smaller area and also lean against the existing tape. With the white fabric rolled up, I can slide under and place the final piece of tape of this side. Now I can flip the sail over and remove the temporary tape. Always working from the center out, when pushing down on a tape, it's important to make sure that there's good contact over the strings. That's where water will want to make its way in. And here we are, the repair is complete. The dark background helps to reveal any bubbles and imperfections. These will disappear as the glue settles over time. Look for areas that you may have missed, especially around the strings. Without tension, the way the sail material lines up looks exactly how it was originally. This is the long-term results after 10 sessions and a few washing cycles in the waves, and a couple of months of use. As the tape settled, the initial overlap is now gone. We can see a gap of about 1/32 of an inch, or less than half a millimeter. The tape is still clear and has good transparency. There's absolutely zero water inside the tape area. I set some outhaul on the sail with no outhaul to show what the sail looks like with little tension. I'm very happy how this repair turned out. I still carry the sail on my head every time I walk out of the shore break. Please let me know your thoughts about this repair. I do feel like this tape could be used across panels even, over batten pockets and whatnot. Quite impressive. Do visit my site, Manu's Windsurfing blog, in the tips and tricks section. There are tons of info about gear, technique, and even a health section. See you in the next one. Ciao.